Welcome to Collaboration in Education. I'm Adriana Notaboom in the course SLDR 670 through Bethel University. For my presentation, I will be focusing on the collaborative initiative that is taking place at the school where I taught Spanish this past year. The focus is to establish house groups as a new system of class structure within the school. This model is based on a school in Indianapolis that's also part of Catholic education and following a house system of their own. The premise is that there will no longer be divisions based on grade, but rather students will be divided by their small groups that are comprised of all grade levels. There are 4 families in the school, and each family has its smaller individual houses of 15 to 18 students and 1 or 2 teacher mentors. The goal is to develop a more connected student body that supports the academic and spiritual goals of the Catholic school. In the House Group Initiative, everyone is a stakeholder to some degree. The key student stakeholders are the student leaders elected to lead the houses and the 2 students called school captains that are leading the entire school. The rest of the student body participates through the weekly house group times and helping to generate further ideas for group activities and connectedness. The teachers are all involved as stakeholders as we are all assigned to houses to mentor. This role is meant to help guide student leaders as they get stuck and create an environment where students in the house have someone they can trust and communicate with. In the primary stakeholder roles, we have Sister, who is also a history teacher, and the 2 principals as well as Father. Sister really served as the primary stakeholder because she oversees the entire project. In the breakdown of stakeholders, principal, assistant principal, and father all come first because they aren't as actively involved in the house system, but they are responsible for overseeing the school on a daily basis. Sister, however, is the primary stakeholder directly related to house because she's a director. Underneath her are the 2 students, 1 male, 1 female, that have been elected for next year as the school captains. This is a new position, but the idea is that they were chosen by their peers to lead the entire student body and the house group system to be the point person that people can look to as we move forward in this project. The deans is 1 teacher that's been designated per family to lead all the students and teachers within that family. So there are 4 total for the school. They're the point person when Sister isn't accessible, especially during the regular house group times. The house leaders are the students that were elected to lead each individual small group. Underneath them comes the teachers. We're there just to serve as mentors. We're not actually there to teach or lead. We just sit in the back of the room, watch how things are going, make sure everything stays on track, and redirect as needed. Then we have the students who are participants. This is one of the expectations that the kids have as being part of this school. They're expected to participate and be involved in the house community, enriching the project and the dynamic that's forming because of this initiative. House groups currently meet on a weekly basis and share a lunch together once a month. These actions have led to a greater sense of community within the school. Students were engaged in friendly competitions throughout the year that bolstered their solidarity as a family unit. At the end of the year, there was a field day competition that led to the winner of the school year. Each family gathered points during the school year by participating in events like the Saber Pack, also known as the student cheering section for sporting events, the food drive as pictured on the right, where cans were brought in and creative displays were created, along with decorating doors at Christmas time, a penny wars competition, and ultimately the field day. When field day was over, the winning family with the most points was awarded the Saber Cup and the Senior Hall lockers. It's important to note that these lockers are twice the size of the other lockers in the school, and they are set apart in their own special area, away from the general student populace. The outcome of this competition resulted in a lot of frustration and pushback from the upperclassmen. The juniors had been waiting 3 years for these lockers, just to lose them in the end. The goal was to break down silos or barriers that were dividing the classes, but rather the school ended up creating more. As Linciani articulates in his book, Silos, Politics, and Turf Wars, silos are nothing more than the barriers that exist between departments within an organization, causing people who are supposed to be on the same team to work against one another. In this case, the school is deliberately divided into teams, but ultimately, we are all on the same team and we're in this together. The juniors were threatening to beat up or intimidate the new freshmen that now get these lockers and did not earn them in their perspective. The students posed that a better reward for the winning house would have been an ice cream social or something similar. Had their house won, maybe they would have been singing a different tune, but they still felt as though no one was listening to them. The biggest issue and failure the school is facing is a lack of feedback. In many courses, feedback has been a major topic of discussion, especially in building trust. Students, aside from the leaders, were not given the opportunity to provide much input into the collaborative process. Teachers were shut down upon asking questions and told that this is the way it will be, with an undertone of just accept it. Key leadership has not shown teachers a plan from how to get to where we are now to the goal of daily house groups and a trimester schedule rather than the traditional schedule that we currently follow. The new system is being pushed but with no direction. The response to the question of having a change plan or something similar was, you just have to trust. Internally, my response was, trust what? You've given us nothing to trust. As Horsager writes in his book, The Trust Edge, it is action, not words, that sharpens the trust edge. In this case, where there has not been actions that build trust, it simply cannot be demanded. A good way to word what's going on, to steal it from Parks and Rec, is steamrolling. They're just pushing as hard as they can without getting anything back from the teachers. Students didn't have a say in the outcomes. Teachers were told accept it. Trust was demanded, but no action substantiated it. Looking into the future, things are bright for the school. As Alder, Hexer, and Prusak in their Harvard Business Review article state, like a good strategy or vision statement, an effective shared purpose articulates how a group will position itself in relation to competitors and partners, and what key contributors to customers and society will define its success. The school is positioned in a place for the future as they currently have that shared purpose. But they need to tweak the present in order to get themselves there. The first true year of house implementation is complete, and that's a success to celebrate. Another positive outcome is the growth and interest in student leadership. We see students actively taking responsibility and seeking out opportunities to grow as leaders from a young age. This is encouraging as they are the next generation to lead us into the future. The key stakeholders, sister, the principals, and father, have been leading this collaborative initiative in a closed hierarchical manner. As Pisano and Verganti in their HBR article describe it, this type of collaboration decides who participates in this network, which concepts get developed, and which products are launched. I would recommend that the school open their stance and try an innovation mall or an innovation community. According to Pisano and Verganti, the innovation mall occurs when a company posts the problem and anyone can respond with their ideas of resolutions. Then the innovation community is a scenario where anyone can post the problem and offer resolutions. I would recommend that the school create an innovation community that is open for teachers in order to address and resolve the issues that we see within the house system on a day in, day out basis, and then flowing from that feedback, take the key issues presented by teachers and put them in the format of an innovation mall for the students in order to obtain the students' feedback and refine the process. This more open mentality has the potential to accomplish great things and boost the implementation of the house system. With open collaboration, this school could become a key leader in the next level of education with our community. To summarize all of that, the recommendation for the high school is to limit the closed hierarchy mentality, offer an innovation community to teachers, then take those ideas to students as an innovation mall, where they will then see an increased sense of community and belonging among the students and the faculty, They'll experience greater trust with senior leadership and move into a future of leadership and education within the Champaign-Urbana community. I hope you've enjoyed my presentation on collaboration. These are the references that I used for this assignment today.